What's up, everybody, man? Your boy Neezier back here again. Another week, another episode 3 of Talking That Yeah. Hey, man, this is the third episode. Y'all back. That mean y'all tuned in again. That mean y'all watched last week's episode. Man, keep sharing, keep following, keep subscribing. It's growing more and more every week. And welcome back, man. So, going into the Talking That Yeah for this week, our first topic is a Cheesecake Factory video. And we're gonna show the video just in case y'all haven't seen it. But basically, this guy decided to take this woman on a date to the Cheesecake Factory, and she had her own opinion about it. So we're gonna watch the video together and then we're gonna give our opinions about
it. Whew. Let me just get the door for you. Okay. He got me at the Cheesecake Factory, y'all. I ain't getting out this car. Yes.
Would you want me to open the door for you?
Look.
Are you're recording me?
Yeah. This is the Cheesecake Factory. This is the Cheesecake Factory, y'all.
What's the problem with that?
This is a chain restaurant. Who takes someone that looks like this to a chain restaurant?
You want to talk about it? I'm fine with talking about it, even in front of them.
Oh yeah, I want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Come on, get up on in the car. Yeah, we're gonna talk about it.
Man, now we gonna talk about it.
It's crazy.
That's crazy. Me personally, me and my family, we've been to the Cheesecake Factory a couple of times after some Tulane games. I don't see no wrong. I think they got pretty good food. I don't know.
There's nothing wrong with the Cheesecake Factory. I don't know where she expect to go. I mean, I guess you want to go to like a steakhouse or something. Me personally, I'm not a big fan of red meat, so unless you want to go to a steakhouse and eat chicken, but that's just me. But I mean, I just don't know where she expect to go. I mean, what's wrong with the Cheesecake Factory? I feel like Cheesecake Factory is a nice restaurant, so.
I feel like it all comes down to effort, and I feel like he was thinking in his mind, like you heard him say it, what's wrong with the Cheesecake Factory? And so like I don't know, man. That just kind of gets into the culture these days. I mean, like I feel like it's the first date. He want to go to the Cheesecake Factory. He want to go spend his money there and show her a good time. Me personally, I don't see nothing wrong with the Cheesecake Factory. Maybe the fact that the Cheesecake Factory has been around for so long is why she felt upset.
I feel like Cheesecake Factory is a nice little vibe. You know what I'm saying? Just I feel like I don't see nothing wrong with it. Me personally, I just don't see nothing wrong with it. I can't even think of what she's thinking or what I don't know. I just can't. I don't know. I just don't see nothing wrong with that going to the Cheesecake Factory.
Nah, most definitely, man. It's very interesting. I wanted to bring it up and talk about it simply because a lot of people was in the comments. It was male versus female going back and forth in the comments because a lot of guys like ourselves was saying, nothing's wrong with the Cheesecake Factory. But women was like, why would you take somebody for the Cheesecake Factory on the first date? Why would you do this and that? And I just wanted to know, man, would you take somebody to the Cheesecake Factory on the first date? Because I mean, me, first date, we might go to the park and get to know each other. Have a little picnic, have a little picnic, man. Just talk, see how your mind is before we go to any restaurant. But that's just me. That's just me.
For the people that was in the comments, the ladies, I mean, I just want to know where would y'all want to go if y'all can, come back and comment. And
Most definitely. I feel like that'll be a good topic to put on the socials this upcoming week.
Yeah.
If the Cheesecake Factory is bad, let us know where would you like to go, what you would like to do for a first date.
Yeah.
And on the next episode, we're gonna come back with the results. Next topic, we talking about Fall the Dogs, man. Fall the Dogs, man. Hey, y'all know me. Y'all know I love Drake. In my opinion, we got some biased people to my right. But in my opinion, Drake, he the best artist out right now. He can do it all. He can do the rap. He can do the R&B. He can do the love songs. He can do the hip hop. You can work out to him. You can cry to him. You can do anything. And so I feel that Drake is the best artist. And also with Drake being the best artist, they're making comparisons right now in the media because this just happened. Drake got the number one album and single, Time Michael Jackson, for Billboard's Hot 100 record. First Person Shooter is a song with him and J. Cole on the album, and it talks about, them just being dogs for real. And it's Drake's 13th chart topping song, Time Michael Jackson, for the most ever by a male solo artist. And if y'all haven't seen the album cover or the songs on the album, be sure to check it out, man, because in my opinion, it was a cold album. So
All right, so here we go. So, I mean, I tried to listen to the album. I really didn't get all the way through it. So, but I mean, in my opinion, like the songs I did listen to, I just couldn't get into it. So I just had to hey, I had to get on. I had to turn on some Rollo. So I just couldn't get into it, bro. But I'm gonna try to actually go. And I like, so my thing is, I don't really listen to it in headphones. I go get in the car. I feel like it's the song sound better in the car. So I'm gonna go try to get in the car, uh, and just listen to the whole album and see. Then I'll come back and tell y'all, or maybe I might have a different opinion on it. So we'll see. But as of right now, I can't get jiggy to it.
oh man, understandable. Everybody has their picks and chooses, but a lot of people were saying that it's hard to really compare Michael Jackson to Drake, simply because back in their time when Michael Jackson was around, people had to really go out their way to get the music, to listen to the music, to go to the store, buy the CDs, buy the albums, to be able to listen. And I definitely feel like that is a legit comparison as far as like it was. You had to go through more back in the day to listen to music. So for Michael Jackson to put the numbers that he did,
It's
it is uncomparable.
That's insane.
Yeah, most definitely. And then Michael Jackson was like crazy, like all over the world, like all
He's
over the world.
global for real, yeah.
So I mean, that's a stretch to really compare Drake to Michael Jackson, but I feel like Drake, is one of the top artists out right now.
Don't
Um,
get me wrong, Drake is a great artist. I just couldn't get into this last album. Don't get
okay,
me-
okay. I mean, who do you think is the best artist though? Let's talk about that.
My favorite, I like Future and Gunna. Do my top two guys right there, man. Most
I would definitely put Gunna in my top. I would put Gunna and Future in my top five.
yeah, for sure.
Gunna might be in my top three, and I'll put Gunna before Lil Baby.
Yeah,
Okay, we on the same page. We on the same page.
yeah.
Okay, we on the same page, and now it's time to move to the next page. Next topic, we're talking about my girl Jada Pinkett Smith talking, and also talking about her husband Will Smith.
Will Smith, man.
And if y'all haven't seen in the media, really the past couple of years, but most recently in the media, there's a lot been going on about Tupac and his death, and who was really behind that. And that led Jada Pinkett to come out in the media and talk about some things, give her opinion on some things, which also led to her talking about how her and Will have been separated for X amount of years, talking about how she wasn't happy in the marriage and this, that, and the third, talking about how he hasn't been pleasing her in certain type of ways and just really putting their business out. You really have yet to really hear from Will Smith or him comment on any other issues that she's bringing to the public eye. But we just want to talk about that for a little bit.
No, yeah, I mean, a lot of people ask like, why hasn't Will Smith divorced her? And I think you told me the other day. I don't know the exact numbers, but it made sense. If you, I don't know what numbers you said.
So
But
basically, Will Smith's net worth is about
yeah,
$350 million, roughly. And Jada Pinkett's net worth is about $50 million.
hmm
Um, so they don't have a prenup in their marriage.
other thing they didn't have a prenup yet. So Will Smith, I don't know, man. He just gotta just live his life at this point, man, and just deal with it. And that's, I mean, it's what it seems like he's been doing. Honestly, he just gotta kind of got to deal with it. I mean, he just kind of stuck. What they say, stuck like Chuck.
Man, he is stuck like Chuck because that's just a different situation to be in, man, where you've been married for so long and you know you and your wife relationship has been so public that every time something happens, it gets blown up. You saw the ordeal where he slapped Chris Rock, and he dealt with a lot of backlash after that, and slapped him in her defense. And the way that things are really pictured in the media is that she is one of his biggest enemies, and which is tough with that being his wife. So it's just something that's really crazy. While we're on topic, Larry, just what's your opinion on prenups, man? What you think about that? Let's just jump into it for a little bit.
Oh, I feel like this should be on the don't cancel. Please don't cancel us segment, honestly. But I definitely me and my future wife definitely have to have a prenup, and that's all I'm gonna say about that.
I feel like a lot of people look at it as a trust thing. A lot of people combat it by saying, why would we need that? Why would we even have the ideology in our mind that this isn't gonna work?
Yeah.
But I look at it as more of an insurance type thing. You don't know what could happen. Mary says for better or for worse. So worse might definitely happen. But I just feel like in this day and age, it's just some form of insurance just in case, because nobody really knows what the future holds. So I mean, it's really dependent upon the couple and what they decide to do. But I mean, I'm not against it. I can't say I'm not for it. But I mean, it's just depending on the relationship and depending on the married couple whether they would like to do it or not.
Yeah.
So that's definitely an interesting topic with Jada Pinkett and Will. And just seeing two people that are beasts in their respective fields, in the acting society, and just one of hey, J. Cole had got a song with him that Jada and that Will love, and to see that love, falling to pieces, all across the media, it's just been a crazy sight to see, man, for real.
Nah, yeah. I feel like you should definitely. I suggest a prenup, but at the same time, I wouldn't like how you said. I wouldn't look at it as like a negative thing, like it's not gonna work or anything. It's just like you said, insurance, just you know what I'm saying, just in case on some.
Just in case, man, just in case, you just sign the paper and you go on the honeymoon like nothing happened.
Yeah.
But
people overdo it, overthink it. It's just one of those things. Like,
no doubt. Our next topic is G Herbo and Funny Marco. For those of you watching that do not know who G Herbo and Funny Marco is, G Herbo is a famous rapper from Chicago, very well-known rapper. And Funny Marco is a rising comedian that has grown his following all over social media. And basically, Funny Marco hosts a show like ours, and he brings on celebrity guests and just have conversations with them. And it's supposed to be a funny ordeal. However, the media has been blowing up after altercations and not just not so nice ordeals which happened on the show where Funny Marco was hosting G Herbo. So I got a clip for y'all. Let's dive into it right quick.
Son hates you.
Yeah, I know.
He really hates
my
you.
son don't hate nobody. He pure. He just don't like you.
Yeah.
I don't. But no, I ain't gonna lie.
You can't
My
really
son, the first time I ever heard my son say he hates somebody, I swear to God, he really said it on cap. He even Copper Cove. It's like midnight. I really heard him at Copper Cove. Boom. He see Buck on cap. Buck always fucking with him. Buck and TJ. On cap, look, we riding past. I got the.
Am I in the conversation or just him?
Shut the fuck up.
You just big it, bro. You're not even like.
Listen.
It's our show now, bro. You feel
So,
me?
boom.
Swerve and curve.
We putting off from Copper Cove. I swear to God, he see Buck. I swear to God, my son say, Daddy. He said, I hate that bitch.
Who Buck? You hear me? Who Buck? Who Buck? Huh? Who Buck?
Oh, you don't want to be Buck. So
Yeah,
shut
bro.
the fuck up, dude.
Yeah, bro.
Just shut the
Nigga,
fuck
bro.
up and listen.
You gonna come back in a minute, bro. We got you, bro. Don't trip.
Look, on cap, he said, I hate that bitch. Walking off from Copper Cove, I spent the block. I said, but my son said, he hate you. He said, Daddy, I hate that bitch. He said, Daddy, I hate that bitch. On cap, that's what he said about Buck.
Word. I agree. You're crazy.
That nigga crazy.
All right, we back on your show. I'm sorry. Come on.
Right.
What's up, bro?
Finish, fucking goofy.
Nah, it's just like shit. Just be like, all right.
Yeah.
Shit like what? Be like, all right.
Just let it go.
Yeah.
Just
Say it. Say what you want to say. What you
It's
want to say?
good.
Man, so I was able to do more research. I went and watched the episode actually. And Funny Marco went to social media and was like, you know, the vibes definitely fell off by G Herbo and the other guests, but he, you know, he just handled it as professionally as he could.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the best thing that you can do in a situation.
No, yeah, facts. At first when I seen it, I thought it was kind of like scripted because it's supposed to be like a comedy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, maybe just all scripted, bro. Like they just doing that, you know, to make people, buy into it, go into it, and watch it and stuff like that. But after he came out and said that, I was like, dang, like maybe it's not scripted. But no, yeah, I feel like he handled it the right way, though, for sure.
Man, would you let somebody come on talking that and talk that to us like that?
Nah, they can't do that one. I just, hey, bro, I ain't gonna lie. I just stopped the show, just stop recording and all that. Like, hey, bro, we good, we done. We don't even need you on the show that bad.
So you gonna pull Amigos and Joe Budden?
Yeah, hey, it's old, like, but hey, bro.
But nah, man, like Funny Marco, you know, he's a up and rising star. So when I first saw it, I had the same little opinion, like, man, you know, maybe this is scripted. You know, sometimes videos get made like that. But after watching multiple clips from the show, it was shown that like, no, those guys were definitely, really disrespecting Funny Marco and his show, which is just kind of sad to see because that's somebody that's trying to grow their platform and feel highly enough for you to bring you on as one of their guests to go on somebody's show and do that, not very professional. But he handled it well in the media. He was on there. He was like, this is what happened, but this is how I handled it. This is my show. This is my platform. I don't want to, really mess my platform up by acting negatively or responding to negative behavior in a negative way. And
mention this stuff.
yeah, so he just, handled it professionally. And it was just something crazy that we wanted to throw on here because I mean, I know ain't nobody gonna come on talking that crazy to us. Like we ain't gonna have that. Now let's switch gears to the second segment of please don't cancel us.
Please,
And I
no.
just want to say we had some interesting topics last week. I appreciate you guys tuning in on the socials on a weekly basis, dropping topics, discussions, questions that you want to talk about on the show. I appreciate that. Last week we had some good questions, but we got some even better questions coming up today. Now let's get into it. First question: describe your dream girl. Dream girl. I'm gonna say my dream girl, somebody who is spiritual, somebody who has good morals, goal-oriented, somebody who is a hard worker, a very independent lady, someone who is nurturing and caring, family-oriented, and supportive and understanding. My dream girl really doesn't have anything to do with the physical side of things, but more of like who a girl is, personally, what her character is like, what is she into, what is she passionate about. And that's my dream girl, somebody that I can learn from. Coach McCleskey, our coach at Tulane, he always tell us, man, if she can't teach you nothing, you shouldn't be with her. And so, that's just my dream girl, somebody that, drives me to be a better person day in and day out. Larry, you quiet over there.
Oh man. My dream girl. Man, I'm gonna keep it. I ain't gonna give y'all no good answer like Nick just gave y'all. I was gonna say my dream girl is the one that's for me. That's my dream girl. Yeah, leave it at that. I don't got no good sweet answer for y'all, man. But I do agree with some of the things that Nick said though about the things you look for in a girl. Uh, like yeah, for sure. So, like the things that like they got good things going for them. Girl that's spiritual. Uh, girls that got goals, aspirations, and want to do something with their life. So for sure.
Most definitely, most definitely. Next topic. Can y'all please talk about Troy Danning leaving Tulane? For those of you who don't know, Troy Danning was the athletic director at Tulane for the past, I want to say, 8 years at least. And he previously left Tulane last week. He resigned and took a position at Washington, University of Washington. And the topic that they really want us to discuss is, he had some comments when he left Tulane about how the food, I want to say the food being bad and the reality of not being able to win a national championship here. And that really left a sour taste in a lot of the fans' mouths. And so we're gonna talk about it. Me personally, man, I never had a bad interaction with Troy Danny. Every time I asked him for something, he got it done. Every time we needed something, he got it done. He always greeted me with a great handshake, a hug, and a smile. Really was somebody that I enjoyed being around. He seemed genuine, and he really looked out on the football team whenever we brought him any issues, any problems. He had an open door policy where I could always go to the third floor, no matter when it was. If he was in there, he was answering. If I called his phone, he was answering. And I feel like, despite how his, comments may have been taken, he did do a lot for the program in general, compared to what it was when he first got here, compared to him leaving it. And I know that, everybody has to leave someday. They have to, you know, develop and go on to bigger and new levels. I just feel like the comment about the national championship could have been stated in a different way, and it offended a lot of people. I really don't think he meant it that way, but things can sometimes be taken out of context when they're not said in a certain way. Because I know for sure that team last year we could have won that championship. I know that for sure. But yeah, that's just my opinion on it. Good luck to Troy. And I know Tulane is gonna do their due diligence in bringing somebody in that can really keep this program on the rise as it is now.
No, yeah, for sure. Troy Dan, me and Troy Dan, we're cool. Good guy. Like you said, I never had a bad interaction with him either. But obviously he had, he's taking that next step in his journey of being an athletic director and going to Washington. He felt like that was the right thing to do. Uh, and yeah, I mean, I say congrats to him, man. He's taking that next step in his journey. But like you said, the national championship comments did rub people the wrong way. That's the only thing. I mean, I feel like that could, like you said, could have been stated a little different. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You pretty much hit it all, man. I agree with everything you said.
Most definitely, most definitely. Next topic of the please don't cancel us. What was the biggest surprise going into the NFL? And boy, has there been some surprises since we've gotten to the NFL.
Mm, well, I would say, how you just go into something and you have a plan and how you're gonna do this and do that, and obviously make the 53-man roster. But things just didn't work out like that for us. Just for right now, not yet. Uh, so yeah, that, I mean, kind of surprised. I mean, it didn't surprise me, but it surprised me. Oh no, it was weird, but yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things. I mean, we just gonna keep going, keep pushing, and everything gonna work out.
Most definitely. I feel like my biggest surprise, similar to what Larry said, My biggest surprise about the NFL was the reality of really how much of a business it really is. You hear that really going into it and doing the whole process. Like NFL is a business, the NFL is a business. It's a business. It's not about football. It's about business. But you really don't get to experience the business side of it until you actually go through it. And I feel like us being able to go through and really see, how the NFL operates really shows us what we have to do in order to sustain a career in the NFL, which is look at it like a business and really have the mature mindset to make the most of your opportunities and not really hang your head when the opportunity doesn't go your way, because that's just the business of the NFL. So definitely that was a surprise to me. And a lot of things can fall into that category of, the NFL being a business. But ultimately, I do feel like the NFL is a true blessing, for even right now to be an NFL free agent, to have, our names in a pool to where, teams have reached out and, will come pick us up and put us on their roster when they need to, is a blessing that a lot of people can't say they have. And so, I feel like it really depends on how you look at it, in reality. But everything always has a silver lining, and everything is always not, as good as it is or as bad as it is. And definitely being, in the NFL now, you get to see that it's bigger than just playing football on Sundays. But at the same time, playing football on Sundays, getting the opportunity to put on the NFL logo, to put on an NFL jersey, to go inside the NFL facility and practice and just get the opportunity is something that many people don't have, and we're blessed to have that. And so that was my biggest surprise, my biggest intake getting to the NFL. What advice would you give a college athlete on dating? Hmm.
Don't date. Just focus on your sport in school.
I mean, I feel like you gotta have an ideology of what's important to you.
You do have to have a balance. You do have to have a social life. You do have to. It's a balance. It's a balance. You can't just, you just. I mean, I ain't gonna say you can't, but you do need to have a good balance to stay good mentally. You know what I'm saying? So
Most definitely. I feel like the main thing is having a balance and also knowing what you're prioritizing.
yeah,
If you're able to prioritize your studies, prioritize your athletics, and also have a relationship outside of that, because a relationship is a job. It's a job just like, being an athlete, just like being an academics. If you want to have a sustained relationship, you got to put effort, you got to put time into it. And it only works if you have that effort and that time to be able to put into that. But you don't want that to take away from the main thing, which is your academics, your education, graduating and succeeding on and off the courts and fields. So I would definitely say that, you know, don't jeopardize, what makes you happy. If being with somebody and dating is something that brings you happiness and you're able to do it while also excelling, with your schoolwork and your sport, go for it. But if you know that it might be a distraction or be something that, you can't really balance, then you got to choose what prioritize, what's more important. But I'm not somebody to tell you that Cupid isn't real. If that's your thing, man, you find somebody. Shout out to my dog Patrick Johnson, who's getting married next year. He came to college, and balled, was All American, and also had a girlfriend throughout his years at Tulane, and now they're finna get married. So it's definitely something that's possible. It just depends on who you are as a person. What do you have time for? Because everybody's different.
everybody's
Some
different. I'll say that everybody's different. So
some people can make time for it and handle it and be able to do it and got a good balance, and then some people can't. You just gotta know who you are as a person, know what you can deal with, and also find somebody that really can understand and y'all have the same perspective on things, because that can be a problem too. You can meet somebody who their mindset is strictly on dating, not on, they don't understand athletics, or they don't understand, the time and effort that you're putting into your respective sports. And they may not be, You know, they may look good, and y'all may have great time going all these days, but if they're not understanding, man, you got to put in work with study hall. You got to put in work with practice. You got to watch film at night. Some nights you're not gonna be able to talk on the phone. Send text messages and things like that. And that may not be the person that you be able to go through all that with. So it goes with knowing yourself and also knowing exactly who you're dealing with.
For sure.
Last question of the night. If you could play any other position, what would you play and why? I'm going to change my initial answer because my initial answer was going to be running back. I played running back in high school. I miss having the ball in my hands. But while being an NFL player, the running back market is not that good right now. So not going to say running back. I would probably say an edge rusher. I would definitely be, if I could be 6'6", 265, 70 pounds and be able to rush the edge and rush the quarterback because, they put big coins in your pocket and, it get your name out there getting sacks week in, week out. Shout out to my boy Cam Sample, who balled on Sunday. And, I saw him out there doing this thing, man. Shout out to that boy. But most definitely, I feel like edge rushers are, a hot commodity right now in the NFL. They love them. Every team got them. And I feel like if I could play any other position, that would probably be the one I pick aside from running back.
I'm gonna have to agree with you. You can't have enough pass rushers. You never can have enough pass rushers, man. But like Big Dawson used to say, those sacks get you Rex. Hey, so yeah. If I like you said, bro, if I could be like 6'5", bro, like 260 and like run a 4.4 and be like a freak of nature and come off the edge and sack quarterbacks, yeah, for sure that's the other position I would play.
Definitely.
That's the way to go.
No cap. And so, y'all, that's going to do it for this segment of Please Don't Cancel Us. And this segment that we're going to do every week. So if you liked what you heard or you want to add something else for us to talk about in the next episode, be sure to tune in to our socials every week. And when we drop the question box, drop what you got to say in there. And it don't matter what it is. As long as it's nothing too crazy that's going to cancel us, we're going to talk about it.
In order to do that, y'all gotta follow Talking That Yeah on Instagram. They got to, or they won't see it. So,
hey, like he just said below, follow Talking That Yeah on Instagram, Twitter. Just made a TikTok, YouTube. Follow us on there, man. Hey, we read them comments. Drop something in there. What y'all want us to talk about? What y'all want us to, and we can do that for sure. But without further ado, we're gonna move along with this tonight's show and talk about the latest on GreenWave football, man. Them boys are, I want to say 5-1 going into homecoming week.
let's go.
Last time we talked to y'all, man, GreenWave football was getting ready to play their first conference game versus UAB, in which they went out and won. Got a good win at home. It was a little shaky for a little minute, but they went out there and got the things done. Then after that, they went on the bye week.
Yeah.
Low. Hibernating, getting ready to go up there and whoop on the Memphis Tigers, man. Whoop up on the Memphis Tigers, something that hasn't been done but once up there in Memphis. Yeah. And they set history, man. They went up there and beat the Tigers in the Friday Night Lights ESPN game, and now they're coming back to Yeoman Stadium for homecoming, and it's sold out, and they're ranked number 2 in the nation.
And they back ranked. It's crazy. It's gonna be a big game.
Most definitely, man. And then UNT, they're a pretty decent program coming out of Conference USA. This is their first time in the American. They didn't, they don't have a schedule like Tulane as far as the wins and the losses, but I feel like it's gonna be a pretty decent game. But I feel like Tulane can go out there and definitely get the dub on homecoming. Speaking of homecoming, they bringing out the white helmets, green jerseys, white pants, all reliable Tulane. Like, what you think about that, man?
Sweet. Tulane, we got the best uniforms in the nation.
In the nation. So yeah, man, just shout out to the Wave, man. You know, the D line has been producing all season. Darius got another sack. Patrick Jenkins got another sack. Chris Brazel had a touchdown that was called back, but also had a huge catch against Memphis.
That was a crazy play. They called it back. The one they called back, it was crazy.
No, it was for real. Like he scored and stiff armed the guy, tight rope the sideline and scored, and they called offensive PI, which was crazy. Michael Pratt still threading the needle week to week as usual. You know, you got two guys go viral in the media from that game. You got Josh Remitich, you know, big guy in the trenches who was down there, you know, caking one of the D linemen. D lineman got up and punched him in the you know what. And that went viral on Barstool. And then you got DJ Douglas.
Douglas.
My dog had to use the bathroom, man. So he snuck off to use the bathroom like the cameras wasn't on and it wasn't an ESPN game. And they got him, man. They got him.
He wasn't sneaking. He didn't look like he was sneaking from the view they got for him.
So yeah, they got my dog, man. But other than that, man, hey,
my boy Lance Robinson, man. My boy been getting a pick almost every single week. It seemed like that boy balling. I can't believe you just finna leave Lance Robinson now.
I ain't gonna lie, man.
Not Lance Robinson, dog. Boy, he been balling now.
Forgot about little Diggs, little Tulane Diggs over there, man, catching a pick week by week, man. I mean, he's has 4 interceptions, tied for number 1 in the nation right now. Tied for number 1 in the nation right now in interceptions. That's big time. That's big time. And I'm just looking for him to get about 6 more. At least.
Go ahead and hit 10. Go ahead hit double digits for real.
Hit double digits, that's something that not a lot of people can say. They had 10 picks in one season of college football. And so, man, like I said, man, the defense, they've been thriving all year. And it comes from, you know, guys like Lance, Jarius, Slim, DJ playing on the back end, playing lockdown coverage, and also them big boys up front getting after it. Eric Hicks, Pat Jenkins, Darius Hodges on the edge. And then them backers, Hunt, each week. Jesus Machado, one of the tops in tackles. And then you got, you know, Corey Platt went down, and you got everybody else that's doing their thing to win the game. And then even in the kicking game, you got Valentino Ambrosio doing his thing, man. You got Casey Glover doing his thing. You got my man Keelan, a special team dog, doing his thing, you know. And, you know, I just feel like the team is really firing on all cylinders and getting it done. And I'm excited to see what they do Saturday come homecoming. Now we're going to introduce a new segment of the show. Talking that, picks of the week, college football edition. You know we got to get into it. So without further ado, you know how this thing goes. We're going to fire rocket them picks. First up, we got number 7, Penn State versus number 3, Ohio State. Who you got?
The home team. You playing at Ohio State?
I think they're playing Ohio State, and both teams are 6-0.
I'm going to Ohio State.
I'm going to Penn State with
the horseshoe. Oh, yeah, they do got playing the horseshoe. It is at Ohio State. Oh, I got Ohio State for sure. I think Ohio State.
I'm going to definitely go Penn State for the upset.
I'm going to go Ohio State, man. I have to stop your boy, Marvin Harrison. You have to stop him.
They're going to stop him, though. Let's lock it in.
Yeah, that's a tall task now. It's easy to say. It's hard to do.
We're going to come back next week, and we're going to see who gets more picks right. But right now, I'm locking in with Penn State. He's locking with Ohio State. On to the next one. You got number 22, Air Force, who I want to say is undefeated as well, going into Navy, who's 3-3. I'm going to go with Navy getting the upset and beating Air Force. It's going to be a sold-out game up there in Annapolis. The vibes are going to be immaculate for Navy. And I just see Navy pulling off the upset and beating Air Force.
I'm going to go with Navy, too. I think Navy, especially with Air Force being ranked number 22, I feel like Navy going to have a different type of just a different type of just mode. Like, they're going to go to a different mode. And, you know, this is a big game every year. So they're going to want to knock those guys off.
Most definitely. Next up, we have number 17, Tennessee, playing number 11, Alabama. Last year, Tennessee upset Bama.
Yeah.
Put goalposts in the river. Fans rushed the field. It was crazy up there. I know my dog Nick Saban took it personal. They're going to Bryant Denny this year. I'm going with Alabama for the win versus Tennessee.
I got them Bama boys, man. I think they better than what a lot of people think they are. They've been getting bashed ever since they lost to Texas. Was that week 1, week 2, early in the season? Um, People don't think they're that good, but I think they're better than what people think they are.
Most definitely. Next up, we have number 13, Ole Miss versus Auburn. Auburn, I thought they were gonna come in and get the upset last week versus LSU. They didn't. Got blown out. Actually, I'm gonna go with Hotty Toddy. Gosh Almighty, who the hell are we? Ole Miss Rebels. Dub.
I'm gonna go with Ole Miss, man. Shout out to my boy Jane Candy, man. Y'all boys go get it done.
Next up, we got number 16, Duke.
Ooh.
Yes, number 4, Florida State. Duke only has, I want to say, one loss, which came from Notre Dame. You think Duke getting the upset this week?
I'm not sure. I don't know the update on their quarterback. I think their quarterback went down last week, but if the quarterback play, I think they definitely have a chance. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna go Florida State, man. Shout out to my girl Alyssa. Put you in the boys right.
Me personally, I feel like Duke going down this week. I'm in Tallahassee with the Seminoles. I think Florida State don't take it, man. Florida State is firing on all cylinders. They have a great head coach in Mike Norvell. You know, my dog Fabian Lovett down there playing. My dog Jarian Jones down there playing. And I just feel like Florida State is definitely the team to beat this year, especially in the ACC. They balling. You know, I feel like those guys are firing on all cylinders, and you know they not looking back. So I don't think it's going to be close this weekend. I think Florida State gonna take the dub.
Yeah, you know your boy the OC down there too. So,
oh yeah, he is Atkins,
Coach Atkins.
Next up, we got Baylor, Cincinnati. Both teams I want to say are 3-2. What you think they're gonna do?
I'm gonna go with Baylor, man. Shout out to my boy PJ, man. Get them boys right. D-Boy, they gonna lock them boys up. PJ, let's go.
I want to.
Hold on, my fault. Then you got your boy Larry. You got Larry on the Cincinnati side too now.
Larry Days.
But I'm gonna go rock with PJ. I'm gonna rock with PJ. I'm gonna rock with PJ. The Baylor boys.
Cincinnati, first year in the conference. They've been losing a couple conference games. Oklahoma went up there and embarrassed them. I'm gonna go with Cincinnati, getting the upset, getting the conference win in a new conference versus Baylor.
Okay.
Next, we have 3-3 UTSA versus 3-3 FAU. Both teams, I think, coming off a win this past weekend. Who you got?
You go first. You go first, man. I gotta think. Let me think about this one real quick.
I feel like UTSA had high hopes coming into this season.
They really did.
Everybody was talking about how they were going to be the team to beat, and they slipped up a little bit. But they come back and blow out a UAB team. Yeah. But also on the flip side, you got an FAU team whose quarterback was the offensive player of the week last week for the American Conference.
So they hot.
And I think that FAU is going to come in and handle their business. They had Kodak in one of their first home games. They really were riding that hype right now. I see FAU beating UTSA and moving on to be 4-3 in the.
I'm gonna go ahead and go with UTSA, man. I think UTSA coming off a win last week, they're gonna get things rolling in the right direction. So I'm gonna go UTSA.
And last but not definitely not last but not least, but second to last, the home squad, Tulane, number 23 in the nation, versus UNT. I'm going with the Wave, baby. The Wave.
Yeah, y'all know who we going with, man. Tulane. I already know who we going with.
Let's do a score prediction since it's obvious.
Tulane by 40.
I'm gonna say Tulane 45, UNT 13.
Tulane by 40. I'm going with shutout. Defense finna clamp them boys up. I ain't gonna say a prediction. I'm gonna go with a shutout though. They gotta shut them out.
Okay, well, that's gonna be more points if you're right about the shutout, or I'm right about the score. Whoever closer, there's gonna be more points. And last but not least, we got Boston College versus Georgia Tech, two teams that are also 3-3, trying to get a conference win in the ACC. I'm gonna go with Boston College. They played Florida State close, almost beat them. I just feel like they just waiting for that one team that they can really get over that hump and get a conference win against.
I'm gonna go with Georgia Tech. They just played. They beat somebody. Some was it Miami? They just beat Miami. Even though Miami, I didn't agree with the coaching there. They had ran the ball and dude had fumbled. Uh, Instead of just kneeing the balls like the last seconds of the game, and Georgia Tech they took advantage of them and they marched down the field and scored. So I'm going with Georgia Tech.
Most definitely. And that does it for this week's pick 'em. Where we come in, we pick who's gonna win for the week. So up next, we want to talk about the Heisman race. And with the Heisman race, you have your top five. You have Michael Penix, Dylan Gabriel, JJ McCarthy, Jaden Daniels, and Jordan Travis. What you think about that, Larry, so far?
Uh, Man, this is Michael Penix. In the long run, man, yeah. The after his performance last week versus Oregon, man, playing against the top defense, the top team, in a big time game like that, people on the show, man, he came down the last drive and got him a touchdown, and yeah, it's gonna be hard to jump him, man. It's gonna be hard not to give it to him.
Most definitely, man. I feel like Michael Penix Jr. really had his Heisman moment last week, going and knocking off Oregon, in a game that everybody across the nation watched. I mean, yeah, Dylan Gabriel did come in and have the Red River Showdown win, and JJ McCarthy has been firing on all cylinders in Michigan. Jaden Daniels has been, having an explosive offense at LSU, and then Jordan Travis been doing his thing down there at Florida State. But I just feel like Michael Penix and what Washington is doing is really setting that tone for him to win the Heisman. The Heisman is the best player in college football, but it also, is going to go to the team that's really, making a difference and really doing what they got to do. I just feel like, when it comes to all other candidates, you know, Dylan Gabriel at Oklahoma is going to depend on what Oklahoma does in the conference. Yeah, they got a big win versus Texas, but they got to keep it going.
Yeah.
JJ McCarthy, he is at Michigan. Michigan has been doing their thing, but we got to see, if Michigan going to be able to go and handle business in the playoffs. And, that's been their hump as far as, really stepping up over that next level. You got Jaden Daniels. LSU had such high hopes coming into this season, but their defense hasn't really carried them. They lost a close game versus Ole Miss, and haven't really been firing on all cylinders. I really think that if they can get things turned around, maybe other teams get a couple losses. Jaden Daniels sneaks them into the SEC championship game. Then he can become maybe a top three, but I feel like he's not going to be able to really jump back into it. And lastly, you got Jordan Travis, who may be able to sneak his way up in there from the way that Florida State is playing. So I definitely feel that, it's an open thing. You really can't narrow the Heisman race down this soon. But as of right now, Michael Penix Jr. is definitely the favorite.
And people forget Michael Penix Jr. He led the country in passing yards last year too. People don't know that. A lot of people don't know that.
Well, man, we gonna see, man. We're gonna see what he does if he can, go out and close it out and win the Pac-12, keep firing on all cylinders, stay healthy, most importantly, and maybe Washington sneak in that college football playoff race and make something shake. And now we got our last segment of the night. One of the things that we starting this week is we want to do a segment of basically giving y'all a little motivation, giving y'all a little positivity, really, coming to y'all with, something that inspires us and just giving an inspiring, message before we close this thing out. So first, my dog Larry.
No, yeah, my quote, motivational quote was success is made on the other side of I don't feel like it. We all know, after long days, people go to, we all go to work and we do things, and when it's time to, maybe like in my instance, work out or something, and it's easy to say I don't feel like it. I do it another time or do it again or tomorrow or whatever. Uh, but you're not going to find any success doing that. You have to actually just go ahead and just do it, and even though you might be tired or whatever, just go ahead and do it. So that's my motivation.
Most definitely appreciate that. My motivational quote is Stress is created by how we interpret our situation. That's all. Stress is not a thing. Rather, it is created by our own interpretation. Me personally, man, I know that stress is something that everybody deals with. No matter the situation, good or bad, you're always going to have the opportunity to really determine how you're going to allow it to affect you. And this quote really stood out and showed me that reality, what I said last episode, your perspective controls everything. And as long as you really have that mindset that I'm going to control my perspective, I'm not going to let, anything that happens outside affect the way I see things, then you can live a stress-free life. And stress is something that we allow to dictate the way that we think based on the things that happen to us. And it's something that builds up that we may feel like at times we don't have control over. But ultimately, the only person that's controlling your thoughts is you. You're allowing what happens outside to enter your brain and alter your decisiveness, alter the way you think. And this is just a quote reminding you that you have that control. You have that control over your mindset. You have that control over your perspective. You run your own show. You run your own race. So no matter what's going on, it's all based off your own interpretation. So with that being said, control it. Think positive thoughts. Be happy. Smile. No matter what's happening, man, as long as you wake up another day, that's an opportunity to take another step and keep going. So, without further ado, that is the conclusion of tonight's episode of Talking That Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we get up out of here, man, we just want to tell y'all, man, hope y'all enjoying the show. Keep tuning in. Be sure to follow the socials. Follow at Talking That Yeah on all socials. Because this thing ain't gonna do nothing but grow, baby. It ain't gonna do nothing but grow. And so we just want y'all to be along for the ride and we want y'all to grow with us. Be sure to stay active on our social media as we drop different things, such as the Please Don't Catch Unless segments, drop different whatnots throughout the week. And let's just do this thing, man, because we're only as good as you all are to us. We just want y'all to keep staying into it and keep talking that yeah.